Hey, I want to record this video because I had several people ask me about if they should quit their day job. Mainly because it could be a boss that just rubs them the wrong way, or they just don't like the job that they're doing, or it could be they're overworked, underpaid, or someone who has longer tenure than them is getting paid more than them, even though they themselves do the majority of the work. They're carrying the company and not being compensated fairly for it. Could be politics, office politics, or certain policies, procedures that don't sit well with the person. There's a myriad of reasons as to why a person may want to quit their 9 to 5. And now what I want to do is provide clarity, because you might have heard or even thought this yourself about quitting, right? You might have heard or thought, well, should I quit now, or should I just focus on using my spare time wisely to make myself wealthy and then quit? What should I do? And that's a really good question, right? So let me give you some help with if you're in that situation. I'll provide, what I've done myself when I was in that situation, and I provide you with some hindsight as to what I should have done or would have done being where I'm at now, right? So one of the things I want to share first is there's 3 things you got to focus on when making a decision. The first thing I would like to share with you is experience. Meaning, let's say you're working your 9 to 5, and for some reason you just want to exit 9 to 5. Who knows why? It could be a boss or whatever. If you're leaving a 9 to 5 to start a business based upon the experience you already have, then in my opinion, you can just immediately quit and move forward with starting that business. So for instance, let's say you work for a digital marketing company. You know digital marketing like the back of your hand, but let's say there's a few things that your current job is doing in which you want to change. Let's say they're too slow, the processes are too inefficient, or let's say you just don't get along well with the boss. You don't like how things are done there. You think that things should be done a tad bit differently. That's different. So if you truly are experienced in digital marketing and you want to start a digital marketing company, then yes, I do recommend you considering leaving the 9 to 5. It's assuming you have that experience, and not just in digital marketing, but also in business, right? But if you at least know the skill set of digital marketing, you can start acquiring the skills of the business. Because that's one thing you have to understand. It's not just about learning a technical skill, digital marketing. You also got to have business skill sets, right? Business acumen. It's just like being a basketball coach. Not only got to know the sport of basketball, but you also got to know how to coach, how to manage team members and so forth, relationship management. Same thing. Not only you have to know digital marketing, but you got to know how to operate a business, know all facets of business, all the departments, whether sales, marketing, tech, admin, HR, finance, accounting, the whole 9 yards. Management, you catch my drift. But at least if you happen to know the skill set of digital marketing, you can leave the 9 to 5 and start a business. That's the first thing, experience. Now, the second thing is this that I want to share with you. Now, let's say you want to leave the 9 to 5 and you want to do real estate investing like I wanted to, right? I worked for the government, and what I did for the government, I did management. I did supervisory role. I had a supervisory role, right? But being I want to be a real estate investor, when I faced a situation in my job in which I was disgruntled, where I was reprimanded, where I should have been congratulated, I had a contest and it went well, results went through the roof. My boss said, hey, you did things, creatively, Juan, but it was outside of the company's requirements. You didn't follow proper policies and procedures. I got to write you up. That's what I mean. I was actually reprimanded for getting results because I thought outside the box. Now, in that moment, in the heat of the moment, I definitely wanted to exit 9 to 5. I wanted to quit. I wanted to give them the deuces and turn in my 2 weeks notice. But I didn't have experience in real estate. I just had a desire. I didn't have the blueprint as of yet. I didn't know the exact step-by-steps to invest in real estate, and let alone I didn't have the resource to invest in real estate. So it would have been somewhat foolish for me just to exit a 9 to 5 immediately and dive deep into real estate and just figure it out. Why? Because that means I would have no income coming in and no skill set. So it would have took me a while to acquire the skill set. Now, going back to my earlier point, now if I worked for like a real estate investment company, and I left because I had a tremendous knowledge of how to invest in real estate, and I left to do my own thing, then that's different, okay? So if that's you, let's say you're a computer programmer, but you don't want to deal with computer programming, you want to be a real estate investor, you want to leave that skill set behind because it's not really a passion of yours, then I recommend for you to work in your spare time learning the ins and outs of your new venture, let's say real estate investing, okay? And that's what I encourage you to do because that's what I did. So I use my spare time wisely to make myself wealthy. So if you're in that same situation in which you're thinking, hey, I want to lead a 9 to 5, my boss is getting on my last nerves, I can't stand the role that I'm doing, the work that I do sucks, I just have no enjoyment, no gratification, then cool. Just put up for it for now, but focus on reconverting that frustration and anger you have, make that fuel to really fuel your motivation to use your spare time wisely to make yourself wealthy. Meaning, if you have spare time, nights and weekends, it's gold, holidays, use that time to know the ins and outs of real estate investing. That's what I did. Now, the third thing I want to share is this: resources, right? So let's say, for instance, that either you exercise option A or B. You say, hey, JP, I'm experienced and I want to leave the 9 to 5 to start my own business based upon the skill set I currently have. Or you might say, hey, JP, I lack experience, let's say in real estate investing, and I want to use my spare time to make myself wealthy, to know the ins and outs of real estate investing without needing a 9 to 5. So I'll be willing to have the 9 to 5 temporarily until I acquire the skill set in my spare time to the point where my passive income from my spare time efforts exceed what I do full time on my day job. Then you want to also consider reserves, resources, because honestly, it doesn't make sense to quit today, start your own business, or continue to work today and invest in real estate in your spare time if you don't have adequate reserves. And I'm not talking about just reserves for your business. I'm talking about for your personal life, right? So you want to make sure you have savings in place for a rainy day. And I recommend having 3 to 6 months savings in the bank before you consider either option, okay? Because you want to make sure that if things go south, no worries, you happen to have reserves for a rainy day, for oops fund, just in case. Now, with me, again, speaking from experience, when I started investing in real estate in my spare time, did I have adequate reserves? No, but I wasn't quitting my 9 to 5. So I said, okay, I want to make sure that when I reinvest my money into properties, that I still put a tad bit of, a couple dollars aside just in case for my personal expenses. So I'm a huge advocate for reserves, right? So if you don't have great reserves, no worries, still have your 9 to 5 and build up those reserves, okay? So if you have a skill set and you're saying, hey, I want to quit my job tomorrow so I can build my own business based upon the skill set, hey, don't do it yet. Just make sure you have reserves 3 to 6 months. So if you say, hey, well, I'm not too thrilled what I do with my hours, 9 to 5. I really don't like my role or my position. I'm not trying to make a career or a business out of this. That's why I want to invest in real estate. Then I recommend continue to have the 9 to 5. Invest in real estate in your spare time, but don't invest 100% of your investment capital into real estate. Have a portion set aside for reserves, okay, especially for your personal life, okay? So these are a few tips I want to share with you, hopefully be beneficial, and if so, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And by the way, guys, I have a free training for you, so if you're interested in actually investing in real estate in your spare time, it's not going to be cumbersome or time consuming, so that way you can start building your portfolio and live the lifestyle you want to lead. Then all you have to do is check the link below in the description. All right, guys, as always, it's to your success. Continue to earn passively, live passionately. Peace.